Hi everybody, welcome back. We are here at AS220, the gallery on Aborn Street, and we are going to be speaking with artist Halima Ibrahim, and she has a show right here called Bigotry in the Time of Infection, a reflection of pandemic society. So let's go in and meet her.
Hi, so my name's Halima. This is my show, Bigotry in the Time of Infection. The project started off in the summer with a poem that I had written by the same title that focused on my experience as a visibly Muslim woman, now having to cover both my hair and my face in public, and the added Islamophobia I experienced now with that kind of situation during the pandemic. I wrote the poem for a performance. I did in the summer at the Providence Decameron, and afterwards, later on in the fall, I'm a CCRI student, and I'm also the Rhode Island Youth Poetry Ambassador, but in my digital photography class in the fall, one of the assignments was to create a self-portrait of basically about anything that was important to us. So I decided to expand on the poem that I wrote because the same week, two Muslim women were stabbed under the Eiffel Tower in France. So the ideas were basically still on my mind. So I created a triptych, self-portrait series, which is actually this one right here, showing the same idea of the poem, kind of comparing, the portrait and the poem are meant to ask the question: are Muslim women expected to wear a mask in public in order to keep the public safe, or are we expected to show our faces in order to make you feel comfortable? There's the poem there. Then for the same class, I decided that even though I had completed the poem and completed my own self-portrait, the series still didn't feel done, and I still felt like there could have been more to this idea of bigotry in the time of infection. So for the same class, my final project was to create a body of work. So I decided to expand my own self-portrait, my own poem, to include other people's portraits as well, which includes all of the portraits in the gallery here. And the idea of the body of work is to focus on other people's microaggressions and trauma very specific to 2020, and offer us all a moment to reflect and heal. So the subjects, topics of the poem include, of each of the portraits, include racism, ableism, anti-Semitism, grief, loss, arrest, homelessness, Islamophobia, and more. And along with each portrait I took, I also had each person write their own testimony or poem that went along with their portrait, talking about their experience and what their portraits were about.
Salima, did you want to read an excerpt from the poem for us?
So this is Bigotry in the Time of Infection. I realized COVID wasn't the first to make me put on a mask, not the first cloth to shield me from infection, nor the first disguise I've worn as protection, but in my poems, my face is bare. At the DMV, the woman behind the counter asked me to take my mask off for a photo. She instructs me to take my glasses off as well, so I do. But then she tells me, you need to take your headband off too. When my identity is seen as an accessory, I'm reminded that my mask is not the only cloth to shield me from infection. And the white woman coughs, spits bigotry like a virus. In every movement to her, I am but a brown woman dressed as a terrorist. In line, I catch 3 old Italian women staring at me from across the room, waiting for the moment I'd blow. Instead, I smile under my mask, and they cough, unable to separate the hijab from the human, unable to humanize the face under the mask, though theirs is covered too. But in my poems, my face is bare. I'm hand-sewing labels onto costumes in the costume shop on my campus. And a man tells me I look like a little Russian lady, pointing to my scarf and earrings, and I wonder if he's meaning to call me a gypsy, like Shakespeare to Cleopatra. And I think to remind him, the term does not technically refer to my people, so I prefer to be called Felehi, but I laugh, and the white man coughs, puts me in a box labeled caricature, dismisses my presence in the room, and he leaves making a joke of me. When my culture is seen as a costume, I'm reminded that my history is nothing more than another American tourist attraction, that my ancestry can be bought and worn as plastic from Spirit Halloween or CVS, and you proclaim yourselves pharaohs, as if you were made of gold, and I stand in front of a statue of a goddess with a Nile face like mine. For a moment, I feel home in front of this gorgeous woman carved from brown stone. A white woman walks up behind me, and I hear her gasp at the statue's beauty. I turn to walk away, making eye contact for only a moment, but her gaze turns sour, frightened, as if I coughed, as if I am not the Nile beauty carved from stone. When my scarf is seen as the infection, I'm reminded that in America I am a monster, not a woman. And everyone coughs, watches me carefully in Trader Joe's, eyes me suspiciously in parking lots, in museums, at the DMV, asking me to take off both masks, as if my brown skin will make you view me any less like danger, but in my poems, my face is bare. I miss class Wednesday morning, and I wake up with 2 cops standing inside my bedroom door. My scarf is too far out of reach. Something tells me it won't protect me now, so I don't move. I don't breathe. And the white man coughs.
Thank you for sharing your story so beautifully. And I guess I would like to apologize on behalf of all of those who have made you feel not like a person, not like a woman, and not respected.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Welcome. All right. Thank you. I hope that Salima's message has given everybody some food for thought, but beyond that, also the willingness to stand up for people who need us to stand up for them.